All right, spring has arrived. The weather's beautiful. Everything you can imagine sports-wise is going on. You got NFL free agency, you got NCAA tournament, you got the NBA season coming to an end and the playoffs getting ready to start. You got the Masters coming up. All that says, let's tailgate and smoke some wings. Stay tuned. I'm Brian and this is the BBQ channel. Before we get started on the wings, I'd just like to mention, in my last video you saw in the rib shootout, I used Dimples BBQ Sauce. I've been using this stuff probably for a good 2 years now, and I just love this stuff. Everyone's saying how tasty those ribs looked, but unfortunately you can't taste through a video. So what I'm going to do is I teamed up with Dimples, and we're going to go ahead and give away a couple bottles of their sauce here. We're going to do a 2-pack with the spicy and the sweet barbecue sauce, so you guys get a chance to taste what I taste in this, which is just an amazing barbecue sauce. So stay tuned throughout this video. As we go along, I'm going to be giving you a little bit of information so that by the end of the video, you'll know how to enter in and to win these 2 bottles of sauce. So let's go ahead and get inside and start prepping the wings. So the first thing that we need to do when prepping the wings is actually to prep the rub first. I use my own custom poultry rub, and I'll go ahead and roll some footage of mixing that up, and I'll give you the recipe of what's all in this, so you can go ahead and make this yourself. But one of the things that we all struggle with when smoking wings is how to get a good crispy wing. And some people I've been talking to, they mention adding baking powder to the rub to give it a more crispy texture. So we're going to go ahead and give that a try today. They didn't say exactly how much baking powder to use, so I'm going to go ahead and use 2 parts rub to 1 part baking powder. Don't get that confused with baking soda. So before we go ahead and start mixing the rub, let me first mention the first thing that you're going to do to enter the Dimples barbecue sauce giveaway is to go to the BK Barbecuing Facebook page. I'll go ahead and put that link in the description and on the screen. And that's where we're going to conduct the giveaway, and I'll give you more information later on in the video. So let's go ahead and get the rub mixed up and get the wings prepped. Okay, I don't want to overmix the rub here since this is going to be pretty much a single use. So I'm going to do a 1/2 cup of rub and a 1/4 cup of the baking powder. Okay, so I was talking about prepping the wings, and for these ones what we're going to do is I'm actually going to cut the wing tip off here. I normally leave this on, but since we're using the tailgate grill, it's a little bit smaller than normal size grills. So hopefully this will save us a little space on the grill and make everything set nicer. And maybe we'll be able to fit a couple more on. So I'm gonna go ahead and just separate these at the joint like that. And then set that aside and get that ready for rub. So I'm going to go ahead and get through all these, and then we'll move on from there. All right, so here's our wings with all the tips cut off. It looks like they do save space. We'll find out when we actually get them out on the grill. This is 3.6 pounds of chicken wings. And last time I got this size, it filled the whole grate. So I'm hoping to find that there's some leftover room this time, but we'll see when we get there. Let's go ahead and get these rubbed up. All right, that's a good liberal coating of rub on all the wings. So I would say that the 3/4 cup of rub is good for 2 whole flats of wings based on how much is left over here. So let's go ahead and get the smoker fired up and get going. One of the first things that you're going to want to do is make sure that before you leave, for one, you check all your equipment out and make sure that it's clean and ready to go. You're going to want to vacuum out the inside of the grill to make sure that you're not going to run into any problems when you're out there at your tailgating site, campsite, whatever. And the second thing you're going to want to do is make sure that you bring along enough pellets for however much you're planning on smoking, whether it's a whole weekend or just tailgating before the game. You're not going to want to run out of pellets. So let's go ahead and vacuum this thing out and get ready. All right, we're ready to go. Let's put it back together. I'll fill the pellet hopper later, and I'll bring a secondary bucket along if I was going camping or tailgating. All right, so to test this out properly, make this an official test, we need to go ahead and get the proper tailgate gear on. No brown strokes, come on now. So we're gonna go ahead and get the grill fired up here. First thing that we're gonna wanna do is go ahead and open the chimney stack here all the way up, make sure we're getting maximum airflow in. And for some reason, I don't know why, if your grill is anything like mine, and it came with a safety switch, it doesn't start until that happens. So another thing that I did was sitting on the back of the truck here, this was visibly not level at all. So I just took some shims here from the shop, got it pretty close to level. That's to keep all the juices flowing towards the drain over there. Close enough, you don't need to get a level out or anything to check on it, but these might be a handy thing to have if you run into a situation where you're out of level. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to hit the power button on here. And now the Green Mountain grills, Davy Crockett, all the Green Mountain grills, they go through a startup process. This readout here starts at 0, and what you'll hear is the auger start to turn. It's feeding some pellets into the igniter. What's going to happen is that's going to flip over to 1. It's going to start another sequence where the igniter is going to start to heat up, 2, and then 3. And then it's going to come out, start reading a temperature. And that temperature is going to be the ambient temperature. So it's going to start out today around 60 something, and then it's going to start counting up. And what you want to do is you want to let that count all the way up to 150. And once you get to 150, then you can set your target temperature, which for us today is going to be 275. Now, if you watch my official review video on this, you'll notice that over here on this side where the drain comes out, the bucket that they give you isn't going to work. It's just sits too high for sitting on the bed of a truck like this. So I'm going to step away, go inside and grab some aluminum foil and just make like a little trough here for lack of anything better right now. That's what I'm going to go with. You can see this is now at 1, so the igniter's probably running, getting those initial pellets fired up, and I'll just go ahead and let this run. I'll get it more of a close-up on this. Okay, so like I said, when it gets to the ambient temperature, it's going to be 70, 80, whatever. After the startup sequence, you're going to go ahead and hit the up arrow 1 time. It's going to read 150. Just let it sit there, and then you'll start hearing the auger feed the pellets, the fans start going, and now it's going to get up to 150, which is where we want to get to, and then we'll go ahead and set our 275. All right, it took us a few minutes to get to the 150, but we're here. Everything looks good. The fan has shut off. The grill's now just maintaining the 150 temperature. Now, one thing about the Green Mountain grills with the Wi-Fi is you can actually connect to this thing and use your phone to control it. So what I'm going to show you is when you're out camping, tailgating, and you're not going to have a home network for this thing to connect to. So what you're going to do is you're actually going to, this thing's going, in the new firmware 6, this thing's going to default to point-to-point mode, which means that it's going to be its own Wi-Fi hotspot at that point. So what you're going to do is you're going to go into your phone and you're going to connect to that hotspot. The password's going to be the serial number of your unit, and then what we're going to do is we're going to open the Green Mountain app, and I'm going to hope to catch this on camera. It's not showing up. Let's move the camera. So now we're going to click connect. And that said that the target temperature was reached. So what we're going to do is we're going to tap on this 150 over here. It's going to come up and ask us what our set point is. So we're going to type in 275. And confirm. Now let's spin around. Okay, we missed it on camera, but it actually flashed up and said 275 on the display, and now we can hear the fan going again, and it's cranking up, and it's going to go up to 275. So while we're waiting for it to get, I'm going to step back, go get the wings. This shouldn't take very long, and then we'll get the wings on. All right, we've reached 275. Let's go ahead and get the wings on. We're using indirect heat for these. And they sure do smell good. All right, so cutting off the tips definitely made a big difference in how many wings you can fit on here. Let's go ahead and get a shot. You can probably fit at least another 4, 6 wings on there. Now that's 6 doubles, so that's a whole dozen wings. So we're gonna go ahead and let these smoke for 45 minutes, and then we'll be back. To enter the contest, what I'm gonna have you do is like and comment on one of the posts on my Facebook page for BK barbecuing, and stay tuned to the end of the video and I'll tell you which one it is and when the contest ends. We'll see you in 45 minutes. All right, it's been 45 minutes. Let's go ahead and get this open and flip the wings over, and we're gonna rotate them too. The ones on the left we're gonna put on the right, such. They smell amazing. All right, let's let them go another 30 minutes, and then we're gonna sauce them. All right, it's time to get the sauce on the wings. So On March 10th, I put out a post on the Facebook page that said I had 15 gigs of video to edit. So what I want you to do is like and comment on that post in order to be entered. But wait for the end and I'll tell you what actually you need to put in your comment. So let's go ahead and get these wings sauced. All right, now that we got them sauced, we're gonna give them another 15 minutes and then they should be ready to go. All right, the wings are done. One important thing to note when we take these off is when we shut the grill down here, we're just gonna go ahead and hit the power button and it's gonna go into fan mode, and that's gonna blow all the ash out of the fire pot and get everything cleaned up on the inside. So very important not to just shut the whole thing down right away. You wanna go ahead and let that finish up what it needs to do. These are definitely done. The sauce is caramelized nicely. Some of them are a little dark around the edges where others aren't. I think what we're seeing here is a temperature difference. A lot of people report on these that there is a left to right temperature difference. So the left side will be cooler than the right side is. I think what I'm going to do is actually do a test on that and then do a video of how we're going to solve that. So for now, let's go ahead and get these inside, plate them up. So there we have it, 28 wings done with the Dimples sweet barbecue sauce. I'd like to say thanks to Dimples for sending us some barbecue sauce and for sponsoring the giveaway. The post on March 10th where I said that I had about 15 gigs of video to edit, I want you to comment on that video to be entered. Let's go ahead and bite into one of these and see how they are. I'm going to grab one of these dark ones here, see how it turned out. Good flavor. Crunchy. So as always, if you found this video to be helpful, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you want to bash on the browns at all, that's cool too. Just go ahead and leave comments below. I have thick skin. I'm a Browns fan. And if you find this information to be helpful, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you soon. Have a good day.